Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Legally Blind Bookworm, and this video is actually getting out on time today. So this video is all about this week's reads. So I ended up reading 6 books this week, and I'm currently reading a 7th. So this video will contain all of those books from this week. So as always, link down below, you will find the link to my blog that will contain all of the books for 2019. These will have the title, the author, the NLS catalog number, the Goodreads links, and whether it is a part of a series and what number it is, and also the genre. Also linked down below, you will find a link to my full blog, which will contain all of the book challenges and all of the books and blogs that I've already videoed or am currently doing or have written. Also linked down below, you will find the link to my Facebook and my Instagram. So let me show you my books from this week. So the first book I read this week was Rock Chick Regret. So I believe this is the 7th book in the Rock Chick series by Kristen Ashley. So this book follows Hector and Sadie. Hector is a undercover agent that ended up putting in jail Sadie's father, who is a drug lord, and they ended up falling in love. So there's some action in this, and there's some dynamics between Sadie and her father, and Hector and Sadie, and Hector and her father. So this is all kinds of that. You will also see a ton about the Rock Chicks and the Hot Bunch, as always in these books. This book felt a little weird because at the end of Rock Chick Reckoning, as I said in the previous video, there was an epilogue that kind of made it almost sound like the series was going to end. So you ended up looking into the future. So this one once again put you more into the present time, and so it just kind of felt a little weird, but I really did enjoy this, and I'm currently reading the last book in the series. So the last book in the series is Rock Chick Revolution, and this follows Allie, who is Lee from the first book, and Hank from, I believe, the 3rd books, the younger sister, and Allie is Indy from the first books, best friend, and this follows her and her off again, on again, hiding, all of that good stuff. Love interest of Ren. I'm not 100% sure what Ren exactly does. He's shown up a couple times in the books, and all I know is that he's a very good-looking Italian man who dresses very nice and is very obsessed with Allie, and this just follows their relationship. Allie is kind of a private investigator. She likes being on the wild side like the rest of her family, and so there's a lot of drama in regards to that. I'm not a whole lot into this book, so I'm definitely looking forward to this book. This is the last one, I believe, in the series, so I'm kind of upset that it will end all of the hot guys from the Hot Bunch, but I'm definitely going to end up looking into more books by Kristen Ashley, just not sure what books those will be yet. So a short book I did end up reading this week was called Haunted Places by Betsy Hoffman. So this book all came about because my family last Sunday watched the movie Winchester. So Winchester is about the famous Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. So I lived just a couple miles away from the Winchester Mystery House while growing up, and we used to pass by it all the time. As an adult, I ended up learning more about the Winchester Mystery House and what was behind it, and ended up touring it probably as an older teen. Since then, I've really gotten into the paranormal and ghosts and spirits and things like that. So that's where the Winchester movie all kind of comes around. So what I ended up doing is I ended up searching the Bard and the NLS catalog, looking for anything more on the Winchester Mystery House, and this was the only book that came up. So Haunted Places is not only about the Winchester Mystery House, but it's also about more famous places around the United States that are haunted, including the White House and a hotel and just some other houses and things that had to do with historical places. And it just kind of tells a little bit about the hauntings and who they believe is there and things like that. So I'm really interested in the paranormal, have been for quite a while. So this was just a fun, easy book to read. And if you're into the paranormal, this might be kind of interesting to you. So the next two books I ended up reading were kind of a little bit outside the box of what I have been reading in my current challenges and on my YouTube channel. So for the booktuber challenge, I had to find a book that was written by more than, I think, one person. I think it had to be written by two or more people. So this actually got me into thinking of some books that I've read in the past and really enjoyed. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up searching out the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. So if you don't know what the Chicken Soup for the Soul books are, Chicken Soup for the Soul is a collection of short stories or quotes or things like that from people in different areas that are inspirational stories. So these books are usually categorized either by subject or by the person who is supposed to read them. So you will find some that are for like the cat lover's soul, or for the dog lover's soul, or for the teenage soul, or the couple's soul, things like that. So I ended up searching out some of these about 3 years ago. I really got into reading a ton of these books, and they are currently still in production and they're being written as we speak all the time. So I kind of wanted to just search out some new ones. I don't exactly remember which ones I did read, but I ended up searching out two that I don't believe I did read. So the first book I read was Chicken Soup for the Couple's Soul. This is all about inspirational stories about couples. I would say majority of them are romantic couples, and I think that's what it was intended. These are just really good inspirational stories. Some of them are hard times, some of them are happy times. It just goes around with those. So my husband and I have been together for over 15 years. We've been married almost 14 years, so I just thought this would go great with my personality and just have some inspirational stories. So the second book I did read was Chicken Soup for the Grieving Soul. This hit close to home, and I have not read this book. So about 3 years ago, my mother passed away. She was my best friend. And since then, of course, I've been grieving, and so was a lot of my family members. And my daughter lost her best friend this summer. So I just thought I would try reading these. This book is not meant to make you sad, although the stories are very real. What this is supposed to do is each book has kind of a uplifting message at the end or something you're supposed to get out of it. So the idea is that you listen to each story and then you pause afterwards and really think about what the story was supposed to do and what you might be getting out of it. Some of these might be messages from loved ones or maybe advice of where to seek help. So all of these kind of had to do with that. I think it just opens your eyes a little bit sometimes when you're grieving to some things that you may either not know about help that is out there, or stories about people finding things that, are from their loved ones. May it be a flower blooming or a bird or an actual letter that you just didn't see until, a time in your life when you felt like you needed it. So I definitely did enjoy these. They were not upsetting to me. They would be upsetting to some. But it was great to just hear some of the stories and how these people have really gone and grieved the way they needed to grieve, and then seen a light at the end of the tunnel. So one other book that I read this month was Where Did You Go Bernadette by Maria Sample. So this I found as I was searching for books for my bingo challenge of books that were made into movies in 2019. So I just picked up this book. It sounded kind of interesting via the description, so I decided to read it. This one was nothing like the description. It was interesting, but not really all that interesting. It is surprising it's going to turn into a movie, so I'm really curious if the movie is going to end up being better than the book. Basically, the storyline of Where Did You Go Bernadette follows a family of Bernadette and her husband and their daughter. And Bernadette and her husband are very wealthy people, and her daughter is gifted, and she's going to this like private schoolish, I think, and they kind of the dealings with Bernadette and the other mothers of the students at the school, and then Bernadette's kind of got her own little problems, and so you end up hearing about these problems between her and the mothers of the school other children. And then Bernadette goes missing right before they're supposed to go to Antarctica on a trip, And so you hear all about her being missing and them trying to find her. And then the ending, you find out a little bit more information, and things end up turning out great in the end. But it was kind of boring. It definitely wasn't a book I'm going to end up rereading. The only thing that was quite interesting about this book is a lot of it was based on either letters or data or invoices about things that were happening, which is where a lot of the storyline ends up coming from. So some of those had a lot of laughs, especially those between the other students' moms. Those were kind of funny. A lot of things that were done were kind of stupid. And I even saw things happening before they happened. The mystery in this was not a huge mystery. It was a little bit. The ending, which I did enjoy, I think a little bit more than the other endings, was just kind of enlightening. And it ended up turning out okay, but like I said, this was not a favorite of mine this week. So the last book I finished this week was Every Heart a Doorway. So Every Heart a Doorway is the first book in the Wayword Children series. So this series I actually heard from booktuber Chelsea in one of her videos. I don't remember which one it was. This is one of her favorite books, and I had downloaded it a while ago, and it's been sitting in my phone all downloaded, ready to go, and I just thought, well, okay. I didn't know much about this book going in. In fact, I don't remember anything about this book, so I didn't read any reviews. I didn't read anything about this book. I just kind of went into this book. So this book is a fantasy book. I would say it's probably young adult, maybe a little bit higher in age of young adult. It kind of has a little bit like of a dark side to it. Not like dark, but like a dark side to it. If I had to compare this book and kind of put like where this book would fall into, I would say it's probably a mixture of the Chronicles of Narnia and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Kind of has a feeling of both of those, and maybe like a little Alice in Wonderland kind of mixed in, which I think actually is one of the descriptions of it on a review I think I did read. So this book is about a group of teens who go through doorways and things like that, and they go into a different land that I guess the best way to describe it would maybe that it fits their personality, and they stay there for a while, and then they come through the doorways to go back to their time, and they end up doing that. And then in order, a lot of them are trying to get back to their time, but they've kind of had these personality things. And so you kind of go through those, you get to learn about the characters. They're all probably in their older teens, like close to the end of like, I would say like high school age, and all of them are kind of a little different. This one had a little mystery in it, and that was kind of fun. This was a really good book. I was glued into this book, and before I knew it, it was done. So I would definitely recommend this book, and I'm definitely going to end up reading more of these books. So that was my 7 books. So I'm really excited because I'm end up getting this video out today. Also watch, because I have a new challenge that I am doing that I'm really excited, that I actually found out about last night. So I'm really excited about this. This is actually a month-long readathon for April. So I'm starting it a little bit late, but I think some of the books from last week's and this week is going to end up being able to be fitted into those categories for the readathon, so I'm really excited about that. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but watch out for the videos. I believe there's going to be an introductory video, and then actually like some vlogging, which I have not done in the past. I've just kind of done videos. So I'm excited to try a new type of video, like vlogging. So I'm really excited about that, and we'll see how that ends up working, but just keep checking in, and hopefully that video will be up this weekend, and you'll get to hear all about that new challenge and a readathon. So keep on reading.
If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure you ring that bell for notifications.